Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man, Bad Chad and Queen. Jolene's on the camera. We have Doug in the house. He's working on a FINA sign for me at the present moment. We'll show exactly what he's doing after a little bit, just so you know what Doug's doing. Nate's in the house. Nate's actually working on the Thunderbird. He's actually making a shifter for it. There was an issue with the transmission up too far with the shifter, so he's gearing that up. Maybe we'll show you some of that. There's a process that he's got to go through. He's got to make all that stuff. We have the roof welded on the front like we did yesterday. We got that done. We didn't do anything else to it. What I did do is I did the coat hanger trick around the back of the roof, got that welded up, got that ground off, lots of weld there to make that secure. Body line for the doors, excellent. We're tied together on this side. We're not tied together fully because we're not tied together in the center whatsoever. So when I come to this side, we got this side welded on of the corner of the roof. This shows you what it looks like, not ground up and not clean. So we've got this welded all the way along the back side here. We know that when you make mistakes, it's best to try to recover. And we all make mistakes, we know that. So what I'm going to do is, on this one, I'm going to try to make a better cut. We'll get that tacked in place. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to jump inside this car and try to get that roof up in place. And then we're going to knock it together and weld it together. So then we have the roof is on the car. Once I get this tacked in place, once I get that up and get that in place, I'm going to cut the doors open. And there's going to be a little bit of an issue getting them open because we're right hard down on. There's going to be some zip cut going on there to try to get them open. Going to have a hard time getting in there, but I think we can do it. Alrighty, let's do it. Let's cut this piece right here and get this fitting better. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw myself a line. I know that, I'm just going to slow down a little bit actually. Yeah, I know that I've got a little bit of metal showing all the way around. I can see a little bit up here. So I'm just going to go with a nice easy little cut first. There's no metal, no bald metal showing there. I mean bald metal, no paint I guess. It's like the back of my head. We're going to go just like so. I'm thinking that we should be fine. Let's cut that and see where we're at. I do not want to make a cut like I did yesterday, and the reason being is I have to work hard to get it to fit right. But we can do it, that's for sure. Thanks for coming back, everybody. I hope everybody done me that favor and had a great day. Jolene did some fantastic work last night. We watched the video and she did a fantastic job making, where did we put the channel locks? Do you know, sweetheart? I had them over helping you, I thought of. Anyways, she did a fantastic job doing the camera work. Did she not? Everybody must agree. I don't know where my channel locks went.
I agree totally.
Oh man, she did some fantastic camera work, I'll tell you that. Man, you could see the weld better than I could see it, that's for sure, especially when I was welding that gap together. Wow, quite something else. All right, I'm just gonna have a pair of channel locks, gotta buzz this. Ooh, we did better that time. Whoa! Huh? Whoa. Scored it a little bit, we did. That's okay. Let's go a little bit further. I think we just take a little blade. sure I got it fitting really good. I think I better tack it. Lead. I can show you what I do with the lead. When I'm welding this up and doing this and there's lead in place here, what I generally do is turn the welder on, and when I'm welding, and you can hear the noise that the lead makes a different sound. All I do is when I get it hot, I make sure I have the air right there and it'll blow the lead away. It's fitting really, really good right there, so I'm going to make it stick. If I can get my helmet to... Sometimes what happens right there, it gets too thin. That's why I like that coat hanger. We're about welding this together up here, so let's make it work. Put a little coat hanger in there. I keep getting in Jolene's way, but I can't help it. The helmet is so sensitive with the lights up here. The helmet's going dark on me without doing anything. I'm going to tack a weld there. Let's get it fitting. We want to be able to grind it off just like the other side. Make it work. Helmet keeps blinking off on me. I turned the sensitivity down on it. Still not mattering. Now, when I get down to this lead, I get it tacked in place. Probably shouldn't use that. Probably end up getting myself a shot in the face. Helmet's playing havoc. You can, I actually didn't do it there, but it's fine. Good. See how I blow that lead away? When I heat that up, it'll just keep blowing the lead away. It's hot. I'll put a tack right here because it's nice. I'm not going to weld this side up completely. I'm going to make it fit, and then we're going to get to the center of the roof because this can be welded up after. You've seen how I did it. Trying to get that out of there without wrecking anything. Like that where that's fitting. got a little filler on it. I do not. I like having. You want a hand, Doug?
No, you're in the car. There you go.
I'm not in the car, but I can help you.
No, I'm good.
Okay, man.
I'm good, bud.
Okay, what I'm going to do here is, as I'm looking at this, I'm down here a little bit. So what I like to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to pry up on that and try to get that. Do something. I want to get. I'm going to try to get this together here, tight and right. Hard to do with the helmet going off and on. Ooh, hot. Ouch. Now, this thing here, we want it fitting right, so we can grind it all off like the other side. Good. Perfect. I don't know if I finished my sentence or not. I like fill on that. And the reason being is if there's a little bit of fill in that, when you heat that up, that fill will absorb some of the heat and there will be no action with the metal. You know what I'm trying to tell you? Piece of metal there, I want to peel it back. I'll get that together. Fitting tight and right there, that's nice. Awesome. Okay, beautiful, that fits perfect. 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 Oh, the helmet keeps going off and on. Now. Much better than the other side. Got that fitting really nice. That's not going anywheres. I'm going to put a little bit of weld on it just so I feel better. I'm going to put a little heat on it. That's annoying. I can't. That is annoying. That's super annoying that the helmet's doing that, but what do you do? Just move your spot. Body's still there, I don't mind it. Alrighty. We know how that's going to look when that's welded up. We're going to grind it just like the other side. We got it pretty good and flush, I'm thinking. It's a better cut, that's for sure. I learned from the other side, just slow down a little bit. We have got we've got it connected. Our roof is on. It's on. It's welded on the back, and it's welded on in the front. In the front. Am I happy with that? I think I am. Yes, I am. I'm happy with that. There's a little piece there that's going to have to be dealt with. That'll be after. So, what's going on right at the present moment? I have this side's connected, that side's connected, but we're not connected in the middle, and that's what we're going to do right at the present moment. I'm going to get in the car and try to get that center up in place, C-clamp it or vice grip it so it's in place. We're going to make a line and then we're going to cut it. And then what I mean by cut it is we are going to make it come together like it should. Kind of wondering how I should do that. I got to get inside of it. I'm just going to put the welder over there because I know I'm going to need it. Doug, are you able to help me just for a minute when you come out of there, just to pass me stuff? And okay, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Standing on inside the window. I wouldn't want to stand on the hood or anything like that. I'm standing on the window frame where it's very good and strong. And then I'm going to get in this sucker somehow. Ugh. Come over the other side, please, Doug. I'll take a hand from you, if you will. Just grab my arm like that, old buddy. Hold up on me. Hey, I'm not really that agile, but
If we get them doors open.
yeah, that's going to happen pretty soon here. Give me the zip cut, please, Doug.
Yes.
Please, and thank you, old buddy. No, I'd rather have one of your C-clamps, maybe. Please and thank you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to bring this up so it looks decent. Thank you. I didn't want to grind this off and weld that to it because this is going to be part of the roof. I didn't want to make any. I have.
Long ones go in further too.
I'm just going to. Jay. You see how that stood up for me? If you're looking at putting a roof together like that, you want to bring it up a little bit higher than you're going to have it or want it. And the reason being is because it could fall on you when you go to weld it. So I'm going to do that again. Now, does that look pretty good? Like,
This looks pretty good, man. Yeah.
alrighty. Does that look pretty good this way, sweetheart? Like,
The overlap doesn't really off. It looks really good, man.
I'm going to, I like to cut the door open is what I like to do. So I can get in and out and take a look at it. What I want to do, to be honest with you, I want to get it down the center and cut both pieces together and then butt weld them together. See what happens, but get some of this stuff in here. This is what you call a fire starter. I thought I'd scrape that off after the roof was on and weld it together, and the reason being is because it would hold it for you on the floor. You don't know if you're damaging things. You really don't. All right. What I have here. Do you want to pass that marker there, Doug, please? Any marker at all? Now, Jolene, does this look like center? Tell me if it looks like center or not. Doug, tell me if it looks like center. Just take it.
I can't see your piece of metal because your boy's in front of it. Your
Well,
piece of metal wasn't
in my center, I see the louvers there, so, you know, my center with the louvers, like, I basically just want to cut it in the middle, like, does that look center?
That looks pretty good, yeah. I mean, we were going by that circle up front there that you hang a mirror on before, weren't we?
Yeah. If you want to give me one of those rulers there that bend, I'm going to take from this center here, I think, and I'm going to wrap it down around to that line and just tell me, or just see if it even does. Is there,
Close to your mark.
that center look like to you?
Right on your mark, almost right there, man.
I'm a little over, but. Where's down here? Does that look okay, or
That's, to me, let's look at you guys.
does that look center?
Yeah, like that's more center. Like if you come this way a little bit.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
I'm gonna
That's
come.
on your mark.
That's the deal right there, like, don't know. That's centered with that. Now we're overlapped. This roof had to be sectioned. We're overlapped probably 8 inches or better. Yeah, 8 inches or better. So basically I'm going to cut some off of this roof and some off of this roof that's underneath, and I'm just going to run the zip cut down through the middle and hopefully butt weld it back together. With, like I said, on the back window, you can see how that's, when we put this roof on, when we bring the front of the roof together like this, which made the back window aim out like this and aim out like this. And you can see how that's not cut straight across here. That's going to have to be dealt with after I put that back window section back together. But I really want to get this opened or butt welded together, and then our roof is connected. So if I cut that, it wouldn't bother you too much? That looks pretty good, or should I go and take a look at it?
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't seem centered with the center louver to me, but.
Does it need to come over that way more?
Yeah, it's not on with your little louver now. She's right. You're right on the edge of it this way.
Yeah.
So you need to come over to that way, but
So does it need to
I
come?
mean, to look at it, it looks like it's your line straight with your circle up there with your, yeah, that.
New marker, please, Doug. Thank you. We'll try another line then. And I can jump in and out of this thing, but I think Jolene and Doug got the eye for it. And if it's wrong, I can blame them.
Yeah. I'm still going home at the same time.
And come back at the same time, Hope.
Oh, yes. For sure.
What's that? Does that look better, Doug?
It's down the middle of your louver.
What's that, buddy?
It's down the middle of your louver. I think it looks better, but.
It does look better, doesn't it?
You know, you stand
All right.
here, your line is like.
I have to make the cut, obviously, in order for it to get done. So I'm going to make the cut, and then we're going to put it together. Alrighty. So you okay with that now, Doug? Jolene, you okay with that? You want to come back and take a look?
Looks like it's on the middle louver now. So some ways away from the other mark, isn't it?
Does that look better? Alrighty, they called it. Let's do it. Let's cut this roof and put it back together. Remember, if I left it down, I'd have to cut it again, obviously, because I want it up in the air to get, we want this shape going on. We don't want it flat. And if it's too high, I just have to zip cut it again, take more metal out, that's all. You're always going to give me a new blade. Woo! Getting the roof on the car makes me happy.
Looks slick.
It does, doesn't it? Looks good.
Nice.
I think it looks good. Remember, we're cutting 2 pieces of metal. I don't want to heat it up too much, so I'll let it off for a second. Mental health is not an easy thing to talk about, so I feel it's right for me to talk about it, because if I can talk about it, so can you. And I have to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this video, because they have 30,000 therapists to talk to you about your mental health. And we all know sometimes we don't want to talk to family members or friends. And the reason being is being judged. BetterHelp is there for you online at any point in time. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to leave your home. You don't have to nothing. If you do not like the therapist that you're talking to. You can get another one any point in time you want to. If you want to go to betterhelp.com/badchad, you can get 10% off the first month. And if your mental health is struggling, BetterHelp is there for you. And we all know, sometimes we all need it. Is that too high, Doug? In the center?
That's how you want it?
No, is it too high?
It does peak up a little bit, but not a lot.
Well, that peak would be good with that. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tack it back here because this feels nice, and then I'll cut some more in here after. If you will pass me the welder, Doug, that'd be muchly appreciated. So I'm just going to do this again, put it back together like that, and then I'll hold this together. You want to turn her on, Doug, for me, please and buddy? Please and thank you. I'm just going to pry down on this and try to get them together and go from there. Ground on it? No. Yep, ground on.
Kind of. It's sitting there.
Good. Just ever so slightly. Ooh, that feels good. Remember, we got that burning stuff underneath. Now, I think that feels really good. That doesn't feel bad either. It's just kind of, is it, you know what I mean? Like, I think I'm going to tack it together. And the reason being is, when I shove down on that, I'm going to leave it. It feels good. Stop it. I don't want to hit that again. I put too much heat there in one spot. All right. As I push down on that, see, I'll shove that back up. So I think I want that. Just a little bit. Doesn't bother me. I should be able to take that piece of wood out. Right. Second. Yeah. Put this together. Don't know what's going on there yet, but we're together. When I'm going like this, there's no big issue with anything going on. The roof feels really good. I'm saying that this is the highest apart, and that is good. Let's leave it like that. Feels really good. I'm just going to tack it a couple more times. Don't really want to have any issues, but I do not want it to go anywheres. It's balled it together really good. All right, I'm going to give that to you, Doug. Thank you, bye. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm going to take the zip cut, see if I can knock a door open. Now, this door might be caught up on things, but we'll see what happens. Roof is welded on. What's that, sweetheart? That door open for you, Dad?
It looks like it's kind of hit too. It looks like it's right into the door, man.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it's right into that. You know, they have the little wood slots. It's bored right into there.
I know what you're saying.
It should fly open, huh?
Try to pull it open. Just open the door. Ooh, there you go. Cool. That went well. Awesome. In and out, in and out.
That was a lot easier.
Alrighty. Now, as that roof's up in the middle, I can see that quite heavily. Like I said, when I pushed down on it before, it seemed to be okay. Yeah, I'm just going to do this. See what happens with the door. Works good. Just other than the material in there. Beautiful. Door gap's nice, everything's nice, stayed the way it was, line's good. That means we're rocking. Alrighty, let's do this. Let's try to get the back window. We're a little bit high in the center. That's fine because I can run the zip cut down through it again, but I do not want to do any more work on the center of the roof until I get that back window section in. How you making it, Nate?
Pretty good. Take it off.
Nathan is making a shifter back on the console because the transmission is too far forward, and we'll go over and take a look at that probably after. You can see where the roof went like this in the back, went this way, and that one went this way. So when we put the window in, I could not leave it there. Me and Jolene had a big discussion in the bedroom last night. She said, you cut that window all to pieces. You didn't have to do that. But in the actual fact, I had to cut. I'm going to have to section the back window because we just took however much metal out of the middle is picked up already. We took this much metal out of the back of it, and we sectioned it and we brought it that far together. So that much right there has to come out of that back window to fit in that back in that hole. Also, this piece had to be cut out around the corner because it was facing that way. Because we took this piece and we shoved it in. It's going like this. So that meant the back window was going this way, and that back window was going that way. There was no way that I was going to be able to join that together unless I cut that out. But I probably should have cut the back window section out and put it aside and then done it. But I did not do that. I did not do that. I have the back window there. This is what I'm going to do. From this mark where we welded it, I'm 6 3/4. We want the cutouts the same. Six 3/4. I'm 7 1/2. It could be a little bit distance going on there. 7. I'm going to knock off. You can see how this one comes around and straight down. On this side, it comes down and goes in. So I'm going to sand some of that off to try to get it to go the same. That's what I'm going to do. I probably could cut it with a zip cut, but 7 1/4. Let's see, come over just a little tiny bit more. Just want to take a look at it and see if we're looking the same. Not bad. Alrighty. Now, let's grab the back window. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I don't know exactly what I'm doing right now, but I am just trying to make the back window fit. This is the back window. Let's lay it on the floor. I cut it in half like that. And that's their back piece down there. Now this is obviously too wide. Grab a tape measure. At 4 feet. We're going to take 4 inches out of it. About there, approximately. Got some filler right here on the side of it. I'm going to have to knock some of that out. Going to have to make that go straight. That's all there is to it. Got to make it go straight. I'm going to cut it off because we're going like that. Bump, 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 bump. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the ruler so it hits top of the curve there and the top of the curve over there, and we'll just cut some of it off just to start with. Try to straighten that out a little bit. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take a zip cut that out a little bit, straighten that out a little bit before we even start. Trunk looks funny because it's falling down. That's okay because it's not connected. Do. Don't want to get too much heat in it. The grinder causes heat just as well as the welder. Do I want to go to the other side? Yep. Yeah, we're way up in the center. That's fine for now. We can always take some out of it. It's when it's too shy. If I cut too much out of it and it was down, then when you bring it up, your gap gets bigger. Or if the gap is tight, I can just take the zip cut and run it through it. So all this stuff I'm doing right at the present moment is basically eye work. I'm not going to sure if I'm going to leave that like that. I have no idea yet until I get the back window setting in it. It's going to be a touch and go project, it is. So, I still don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm just going with it, basically. Ooh, that's where I want it. Ooh, that scared me for a minute. Cool. Looks good. Fits good. That fit good. That surprised the hay out of me. Nice. Now, we're going to get to see what kind of... Got to come out of this bad boy. You can see, we're going to have that run together. I wonder if I should just... This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make one side fit. I'm going to make this side fit. Just going to tack it on there because I can tack it on there, overlap it, tack it on, and then I can cut it, splice it, and then we can do that after. I just want to make sure that we've got a line going across here, across the back. We used that piece right there to draw a line across the back. And it's basically right on where it's supposed to be. I do not like how it should go up more. Once I get this piece in, I'm going to draw a line here. That'll just tell me where it's got to be cleaned off. I sort of want that up in there further. Gotta take a look. Let's do this. Am I hitting on the inside? I am hitting on the inside. That'll go right up on top of that. Wow, beautiful. That just goes across there like that. That fits there. Looks better to me. I'm going to clean this edge off. See what happens. I'll get in trouble. I get too much Pantene off this thing, won't I? Hang on one second. Not too much Pantene. We'll knock it off here a little bit. hoping that's okay. I'm going to take switch grinders. We'll get the sander. It sands a little bit better than it does grind off. Let's sand this off. Just going to set that in there for now. Yeah, that's just setting in there for now. Just want to know if I got enough cut off or not. It seems to be setting okay there. I might have to shave a little bit off, bring it down a little bit. We've got a little bit of room up in there. We're going good. Basically, I want this to have that same shape going on the other side. I feel like there's going to be a little bit more work to that. And I'd like to cut it off in the exact same place, but I have to have that fitting good on that side before I do that. And I have to check that side there. Let's just take a look over here. We'll show you. I'm going to leave the back window for a second. I think that we'll come back to it. From what I understand, that we're at our 45, 50 mark. So basically, I'm not going to get that window in on the video. So I'd like to show that process. I'll clean all around the edges so we can put that window in. And it's going to be pretty cool. I'm happy that the roof is on. The door opened nice. The door shut nice. That makes me happy even more. Beautiful. Awesome. So this is what Doug's been doing over here. Just want to show you what Doug's doing. I have a FINA sign. These things are getting harder and harder and harder to find, and I enjoy looking at them. I like the color of the front of the garage. It's just littered in signs. I started collecting signs way before signs were considered valuable. I was collecting them for my personal thing. What happened is Doug's got a piece of 3-inch 1/8 on here. He's bolted it onto the sign. The sign had a different pole, I'm thinking, because we're making ours. And basically what we're doing here is the sign is that shape. We've got this going on. And then we're going to take a piece of metal or a piece of plate, like just exactly what he's got bolted on here, so we can get the sign in here. We're going to make a piece come down like this, and down on the other side and give it some shape. So we're going to have this in the end. We have a sign like this. That's our sign. Doug's got a piece of metal running on this side. He's got a piece of metal running on this side. Then we're going to take a piece of same 1x3. We're going to run it like that. We're going to run it like that. Give it some meat. So this will all be welded in here. Part of the sign. And help hold it. And then we'll bring our pole up in the middle of that. Our pole will go here, but our piece that we weld on here will come down and come to the pole and close that in so it will look nice. And basically, I'm doing it is because I want to, and Doug is helping me do it. He's got that part done. So now we're going to come along with the welder. We'll tack all these nuts on there because I'm not going to be able to get to this because we're going to weld that shut over to this piece onto the pole. So you'd never be able to get the sign off if I welded it over top of that without welding them nuts on. We're going to tack them nuts on. So if you want to take the sign out, which I don't think it's ever going to want to, if you take the sign out, you're not going to get them back in or out or in. But we want to be able to get the bolt out. So we'll tack it there, and then we can just take the bolt off this side, pull the sign off, and then we can bolt it back up. Doug's doing a fantastic job. We're going to weld this together in the center.
Has everyone seen the last two we did? They look really nice.
All right, we're gonna go to the other, yeah, perfect, good idea, Doug. We're gonna go to the other shop for a second. We're gonna see what Nathan's doing. I'm gonna grab a jacket. You need a jacket, sweetheart? So everybody's got their own little project, and sometimes it's nice just to have your own little project, is it not?
Yeah.
It is.
Can I cut that off and bring it together?
You can.
Yeah, okay.
Just, yeah, cut that off so they fit together so we can weld that together.
Yeah, I'm just gonna draw these in closer, bring that in. Cut.
Perfect. Perfect. So we'll work with the other shop where Nathan's at. So we'll come back to the window. I feel like it's kind of something that needs more time. There's the pole right there. We're gonna cut it off a certain distance, then we'll add the sign. You got the door? You got her, baby? Come on in. It's a little bit. So,
Well, the shifter's still up there.
we have a transmission out of a 89 Ford half ton. It's a 4-speed overdrive, so it makes it a 5-speed. He has the shifter. It's way up in there. It does not work with our application, and Nathan's going to show you what he's doing.
We had tried another handle, but it wasn't going to work really the way it was. So
Yeah.
we're actually going to make a pivot here. This will go up through the console. Nice and spot the console. Actually, we'll be able to put the boot and stuff around the console. And then and this one here, this won't actually turn like this. This is only going to go ahead and back and right and left. So there'll be a shaft between here and here with a solid joint there, solid joint here. So it's going to go right and left and back and forth.
So this, you're going to make this, you're going to make that the shifter.
So this will be your shifter, yeah. And we're going to.
You have the rod you cut off here, do you? So I can show him?
Yep.
I'll hold it.
The one we cut off, yeah.
So what's happening is he's having a hard time getting the car in reverse.
Yeah, this rod here, when you're trying to push it,
We had this tacked on before.
too much of a.
So this rod is, I'll hold it, and you hold your shifter if you want.
Yeah. So there was too much hard to do because through the shaft. So
Right.
now there'll be, when this is on here like this.
This
now-
piece here is going to connect onto the shifter.
Right, it'll be a little bit bigger. Then there'll be just a solid joint here. There'll be no Heim joint here. It'll be a solid joint just to pivot in.
Right,
And then this one here, the Heim will give us our right and left,
right.
and then forward and ahead on the Heim. But this one here will actually it'll pivot and turn like this, ahead and back.
So it's actually quite complicated for a shifter.
It's not, yeah, a little bit, but it'll work. It'll be decent.
So this is going to be our connection, and this is going to be solid up here too?
Well, they'll just be, all that'll be, it'll be one that it can pivot ahead and back, but it can't pivot right and left. It'll be kind of
Right, I know what you're saying. So two little tabs coming out.
two tabs.
With that
coming out
bolted
here,
there?
With it bolted there.
Yeah.
With just a pivot in it. That's it. Not
Right.
not a Heim. Then back here will be the same on the shifter here. The same thing here with just a pivot. It's all it's going to be is a pivot in
So
here.
it's going to connect there on the shifter somewhere.
Yeah, there on the shifter, and then the Heim will give us our right and left for forward and over to reverse, first and second.
So you can imagine how long, well, let's face it, how long that would take if you were,
And that's going to be up through that hole right there. And we'll have a nice little boot.
okay, and then you've got a piece that goes up there.
We're going to have a shaft over top and through the hole of this one here. And this is up in there. It'll actually go through that round hole.
Yeah, so that sits in like this. So that bar is going to come out that hole and come to that.
And come to this, yeah. So that's room 2 now. The nice boot will fit there nice. And
Cool. Well,
the
that
ashtray
looks good.
was there, so it's not much different. All the rest of this will be original, just more or less the ashtrays out.
And you'll put a boot over top of that, and
Boot over that. It should work out pretty
had to
good.
cut a little bit of the console out, but what has to be done has to be done to make it work. We're using what we have, and that's what we're doing. That looks good. And he's going to bolt that plate in, obviously, because you got holes drilled. You'll bolt that plate in, so it can be
Yeah,
removed at
that
any
one so
time.
we can remove it and whatnot.
How are you going to get this? Do you know how you're going to do that up in there?
That's
You
where
got-
I'm to next.
That's where you're to next?
That's where I'm to next.
I'll let you be with that, and then we'll come back to that. Ready, let's take a look at the signs. Doug wanted me to show you because he's proud of the work that he did, and I'm proud of him. How's that? We got kind of a little jungle course going on. We have a bunch of gifts that we have to do, and show the appreciation. There's the white rose sign that we did. Me and Doug did that one. That's a piece of exhaust pipe going around the white rose sign. There's a pole and a rotor at the bottom. That's freestanding right at the present moment. And basically I'm just making them the height of the shop so I can put them inside. We've got plenty outdoors, but I want some inside. This is the ESSO one. We changed the sign out in this one. I had an ESSO sign in this one, and I wanted the Imperial Dealer one I had on the wall of the garage for a while. And what happened was we took it apart, we put it in there. This pole here was the original pole. All we did is section it. We took, I think, 2 feet out of it, shoved it inside and painted it. It's all painted, it's all mounted, it's ready to go up and be a fixture in the garage, but did an excellent job on that one. And now we're just doing the Fina one, and the reason being is because I like that stuff, and you do not have it if you do not go for it, basically. It's a dream of mine. I want some signs up in the shop if I can. All right, everybody, thanks a lot for coming back and watching. We'll play on the window some more, get that rocking and rolling. We'll come back to that. And yeah, have a great day and come back. We'll be here tomorrow.